Hi, Lucy.
So we're going to talk about surface area.
I love the
Hello.
Over the next 2 days, we're going to look at surface area of prisms and surface area of cylinders. And the surface area is really the same. It really is the same. And you're going to see a couple of formulas, like the lateral area. So surface area is every surface. So if we were in this room, total surface area would be all the walls, plus the ceiling, plus the floor. That's total surface area. Lateral surface area is just the walls. Think about this. If we were buying paint for this room, would we need to calculate the total surface area to buy paint for?
No.
Are we painting the ceiling or the floor?
No.
I tried really hard not to paint the ceiling or the floor when I did it.
You painted it blue?
Yes. I tried. So all I needed was the surface area of the walls, right?
Right.
That's called lateral surface area. It's used a lot. Think about the outside of your house. Now, paint costs about $30 a gallon.
Oh,
It's expensive.
It is expensive. If you buy too much paint, what have you done?
Wasted your money.
So calculating the lateral surface area of your house is important when you're buying paint. That way you don't be like me. I have several gallons of paint that I overbought.
So
take some.
Can you take them
house?
back?
I just use
No.
some.
We
Once
can
you get
chip it for you.
once you get colored paint, you can't take it back.
We'll chip the walls for you so you can
Let's
paint it
please
out.
not.
We can do that.
So lateral area is real simple. It's perimeter times height. We did that. You should have it done. We did perimeter times height earlier, right? So the perimeter is around the base. This would be the perimeter. Perimeter times height.
Wait. Oh, okay.
This is the same thing as the perimeter. When we open up the net, perimeter is just one side.
Oh, okay.
So we did this earlier, and we did perimeter as just one side, right?
Yeah.
So height is how tall is the box. Well, that's a terrible color. You can't see that, can you? Oh, you can. Which is the same thing as this right here. Height is how tall is the box. So you can do perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. So perimeter times height will get you the lateral surface area. I probably should have got a better one. This doesn't quite match up in numbers. I'll fix that next time I do it. So total surface area is the lateral area, or that perimeter times height, plus 2 times the area of the base. This is what kind of prism?
Rectangular.
Rectangular prism. So the area of the base. What's the area of the base for a rectangular prism?
Length times width.
Length times width. That's it, right? Life is pretty golden.
Yes.
So we're going to do some problems there. Triangular prisms get uniquer, but the only thing unique about it is the area for a triangle. Now let's kind of preview ahead to tomorrow for a cylinder.
Hello.
A cylinder is really the same thing. It is really perimeter.
Oh, that's
It is circumference, but it can also be called perimeter, right? Times height. Times 2 times the area of the base. The formula is exactly the same.
But what is it? Length times width?
Well, you can't really do that with a cylinder, but what you can do is your perimeter is actually now called circumference.
Okay. So it's 5 times width.
Mm-hmm. So what we get is the lateral surface area is circumference times height, or 2 pi RH. And you've got that on your yellow paper if you look at it. Surface area of a cylinder.
2 pi r8.
So our total surface area, because we have to add back the area of the circle, which is pi r squared, right? And we have 2 of them.
That is correct.
So a cylinder is no different than a rectangular or triangular prism, except the base is different. And instead of calling it perimeter, they call it circumference. It's still all the way around, right?
Yes.
If you're running around an oval or a round track, and the coach says run the perimeter, yell, "It's not a perimeter, it's a circumference." Let me know how all that goes for you.
Alright.
I moved it up down.
Oh.
Right, I can already tell you how that's going to go.
Okay. So let's move on to that. Let's get specific with cylinders.
Oh.
We're doing cylinders?
Or sorry, let's get specific with prisms.
Yay.
Are you happier with prisms?
Yes.
So here's our formula. This is really what we want. A net is still your best friend. A net is still your best friend. So let's look at this one right here. I'm going to make the world's weakest net. I make the same net all the time. My net has nothing to do with reality. It only has to do with functionality.
Hold on. Can you re-say that?
It has nothing to do with reality. It's only functionality.
Is that like supposed to be a way that we can remember what it is?
No. I draw the same net for a rectangular prism all the time. It's 4 spots in the middle and 2 on the outside. It'll make a box.
Oh, the
And then I'm going to label the parts
base.
with numbers.
Oh.
I already know this is the base. Whatever I put out here is the base, and I'm going to make it this right here, right?
Correct.
So I'm going to pretend I opened up my box by cutting this base off here. So what's the height?
5.
5. So what are the parts of the base down here?
2 and 4.
2 and 4, 2 and 4. Does that make sense?
Wait, hold on. Wait. So, yes, that makes sense.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yes, because, yeah.
Now, if I'm putting this box together, think about this. This side would match up to this right here, right?
Yes.
So this just 2.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
So 2 and 4. So now I've made a net. It'll always be that pattern. 2 and 4, 2 and 4. Whatever it is and whatever it is, and then just repeat it.
It's just the
So
width.
So let's find out. I'm going to do this using this whole thing here. So this right here is 5 times. What's 2 plus 4?
6.
Plus 2?
8.
Plus 4.
12.
So 5 times 12.
5 times 12.
Find out what 5 times 12 is.
I know.
You start writing and working.
Oh, is it?
This should be like on top of
Don't
your
blurt it.
Can I answer?
Ooh, I know.
That's already been answered. What you got?
Oh, I didn't
60.
60.
60.
So our big rectangle is 60, right?
Yes.
This little bitty square is 2 by 4. What's the area of a box? Length times width, right?
Yes, sir.
What's 2 times 4? How many of those do we have?
2.
2 of them. So 8 times 2 is?
16.
So all I'm left with is 60 plus 16.
76.
76, and then I just got to add on whatever the unit is. Feet squared.
Square.
You can do it any way you want. You can use the long formula we discussed earlier, which is perimeter times height plus 2 times area of the base. Or you can just make a net.
Make a net.
Making a net is so much more accurate.
Is it always cubed? Square?
It's always area is always squared. Volume is always cubed. So what I want you guys to do,
What if you don't know how to make the net?
sure you do. Let's look at this one. What is the
Look at your yellow paper.
what does this net break out to?
A right.
Okay,
3 square.
to make a triangular prism, instead of 4 blocks, make it 3. Make a triangle, and this was actually a right triangle. I should have done that better. Should have looked at the problem.
Just look at your yellow
This one's actually a right triangle, and then label the parts. So the right triangle, that's this right here, right?
Yes.
So the part that met the ground was 6.
6.
The other side that was 8. And what was the long side?
10.
10 and 10.
And 10.
So here's what I want you to do. I kind of just drew that net diagram. You don't have to make them constructive. Your net diagrams do not have to be beautiful. They have to be functional. Okay? So what I want you to do is your table. So I kind of started number 2 there. So the first person will start 2 and finish and talk through it. Then 3, the next person, then 4. All right, so get talking.
Go. Your first person. I did.
Finish labeling that one. I didn't finish labeling it.
Oh, it's not
Triangle and base, right?
You finish labeling it.
Triangles on the base, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
and the right triangles.
You have to label
See it? It's the right triangle.
Right?
Triangle.
By 8. Yeah, 6 by 8. Wait, you have 12. We were talking for too long.
We were talking for too long about life.
So do we have homework? We didn't learn anything.
You didn't learn anything?
I learned about
The government's
the
mistakes.
government about